the GOAT, as we call him, Cristiano, him arriving in January. Obviously, huge signing. Still had a lot of football to offer. So from afar, for 6 months, I was looking in at Cristiano Ronaldo's results and the league, watching some games, watching some highlights. And I think from that moment, the league around the world, it became a very popular talking point for everyone. And after Cristiano's arrival, even more big name signings and talent and skill sets were joining the league. The timing just coincided with me being out of the game and looking for my next opportunity. So I was fascinated from afar to look in.
Cristiano, you know him as well as I know, and almost in consecutive years. Motivation, you don't need to give him. Ambition, responsibility, you cannot give him. Technically, you cannot give him. It's just to give some tactical adjustments and let the guy happen, like you said.
So that's the most amazing thing with goal scoring. Unbelievable to turn into like a winger who used to beat men and more often making goals rather than scoring goals. To have the goal scoring record that he's got is unbelievable.
The longevity is key. That's what makes him great. You know, the goals he scored, the different leagues. When he first started off, again, he was a wide player. He wasn't probably a natural goal scorer. But as the years have gone on, he's improved in every aspect of his game. His desire, he's 37, even his goals record there for United is fantastic. Everything about the kid, I think everything about him when he first came to United 17, he had that hunger, that desire. Listen, I can't speak highly enough of him.
And the guy who's done it better than anyone is Cristiano Ronaldo, Carlo. What is it like to manage him and coach Cristiano?
Really easy.
Really easy.
When you have a player that score every game, not difficult. Also, he's really professional, really serious. Top professional, another legend. What Cristiano was able to achieve in his career, and he's able to achieve because he's still there to fight. It was fantastic, thanks to his talent, of course, thanks to his hard work, professionality, always focused, always concentrated. I couldn't find a date where Ronaldo was on the pitch like, no, when he went to the pitch.
Yeah.
Every day. Every day training, games. Wow.
He wasn't.
Did you play with Ronaldo? No. Unbelievable.
When I was at Manchester United and you think who was that person who had a massive impact on the club while they were there, and you can't look no further than Cristiano. And you talk about mindset, I don't know a stronger, more determined, obsessed player that I'd share the changing room with, because he was just phenomenal. And again, like the guys just said about Gareth, I was very fortunate to sit there and watch him go from a boy to a man.
Cristiano's playing outside left against John O'Shea, and the poor souls, he's got tortured blood. Tell me honestly, he's absolutely annihilating. And I'm up there going, John, get him against him. He says, I can't. So I get my kit manager, says, get up there to the director's box and get Peter Kenyon down right away at half time. So Peter Kenyon came down and says, we're not weaving here.
Peter Kenyon was the then chief executive of United.
Yes. And says, we're not going to go weaving here without that boy in the plane. And he played his first game. He was subbing the first game of the season against Bolton. They came on at half time. A crowd went absolutely mad on him. It was fantastic. The courage to take the ball. The first, the right back of Bolton whacked him right in the first minute. He came on in the second half. He got him and says, give me the ball. You know, the great players have got this courage. Nothing will daunt them. They're not afraid of anything. And Cristiano had that.
Go to his house, you know, he was few people on the table. I look at it, it was just some salad, plain white chicken, no juice, just water. So we have a food, quickly a lunch, and after that, he said, let's go in the garden and play two-touch. I said, Cristiano, we just finished. So we go playing two-touch, after that, let's go for a swim. After that, let's have a sauna, jacuzzi. I was like, Cristiano, why we didn't stay at the training ground? So that's why I said Cristiano deserves everything he got right now. Really happy for him. and he deserves because he works so hard and he's a machine.
And just quickly, you said once he played table tennis with Rio Ferdinand, who beat him, and he was so cross.
Exactly.
He was determined to beat him.
Exactly, and Rio, have to tell the truth, Rio beat him in front of everyone, so we screamed, and Cristiano was so angry. He sent his cousin by a tennis table. After 2 weeks, he back and he beat Rio in front of all of us. So that's Cristiano Ronaldo. He don't want to lose any game.
But the fact is that he has shown that it's not just ability, it is hard work, and he seems to be getting the fruits of all the hard work that he's put in down the years. Patrice is talking about the food and what he's eating, the salad, and drinking the water. He looks like somebody he will not put anything that's not going to benefit him inside his body.
You look at Haaland now, he's just scored goals all his life as a young age. That's the thing that strikes me, is that what his record is like when he goes to Real Madrid, it becomes a goal a game, and it's continued ever since. How do you think he's done? It's almost like he's made himself a goal scorer, which is obviously the hardest thing to do in football.
I think he's got that football intelligence. I think he's a student of the game. He's always wanting to learn, even though he's always wanting to, and he's also got the international goals. His record at international level obviously is fantastic. He's done it obviously with his country. He's won a major trophy. You could obviously he's been playing in some really good teams there. But I think the way he's learned his trade. As he got a bit older, you could see him change his game. Of course, when he was younger, he was a dribbler and he was about beating players. But as he got older, he realised, he thought, I'm not getting involved in that. He's just getting on the end of stuff. That football intelligence, a lot of it one-touch finishing, the types of goals he's got, his personality. He's won the big prizes, you know, particularly at Real Madrid. He was amazing, and even his mentality to come back to Man United. I thought that was I give him a big thumbs up for that, because to come back to United where he'd done great stuff, and again a big question marks, but even his goals record there, he's come back to Man United, a club I suppose not in a great place in terms of where they're standing on the field at the moment, where they're struggling, it's left behind a lot of other teams. He's come back, and again shown a real desire to come back and do well for the club. So I take my hat off to him for that.
Well, I think he scored goals all his life, and he will have 75 years old, maybe will be retired, but in the barbecue he's going to play a game and he's going to score goals. So this type of guys like Messi, like him, like you know, what they have done or he has done in the last decade in the world football, and wherever gone scoring goals and helping his teams to win, speak for himself. So
anyways, what makes one better than the other?
Yeah, forget the comparisons. Yeah. They're setting standards. We're taking them for granted. We're expecting goals in big games to change games. They do it week in, week out. They're out on their own. As you say, completely different, but enjoy them. And even though they give off a different persona from the outside, and we see them differently, that hunger is the same. It just looks differently from the outside. Yeah. They're both pushed on. They both want to beat each other, which has created this monster in both of them. Yeah.
They both deliver at the right time. They both deliver in big games. We've seen them score in Champions League finals, in huge matches all over the world. They're different footballers. One's diminutive, one's a kind of Adonis, but they give so much to the game.
Great debate over the last few years with him and Messi, but I think over the last 6 months I think he's gone on to another level. I think he's out there on his own. The way he started the World Cup, the way he finished last season, how many times can we say it about him, his improvement, his attitude, and I think a lot of it is not natural ability for Ronaldo. As brilliant as he is, I think it's just sheer hard work, determination, desire, today for the goal, courage. He's got a lot of courage, wants to get in there, he's brave. I've said it before, the guy's a genius.
A goal he scored against Porto, and it was about 40 yards out. It was unbelievable goal. To go back to Portugal against one of his rivals as he was growing up, to score that goal, I mean, there's 3 or 4 times on a pitch where I've gone wow, and that was one of them.
He had so much confidence. Even you know, Gary said in his first 2 years when he was developing, he knew that where he was going to end, and he was going to end up to be probably one of the best players in the world, because he had that unbelievable confidence, the ability, the vision, and an unbelievable work ethic. He didn't just get there by natural talent, he get there by the amount of hours he used to put in on the training pitch. And when you see him now deliver what he's delivered, and obviously remember the work that he used to put in at Carrington every single day, it's no surprise that he's been such a success.
I think that's why he gets a lot of respect as well, his professionalism. You know, he was professional, one of the most professional players I've ever seen, if not the, and he has to be he plays every game, never injured. So he's got to be professional, even though everything that comes with it, you know, all the haircuts, all the admiration that he gets, he's still an ultimate professional.
Does he still have the same sort of drive and work ethic? Or?
I've never known anyone like him, honestly. I was at his house for dinner a few months ago, and his house is made for the best player in the world, no doubt about that.
How's that?
The gymnasium's probably about half the size of this. Well, this size here. He's got everything in it. He's got 2 pools. He's got a hot pool and a cold pool. He's got an ice room at minus 160 degrees. He goes in there for 10 minutes after the game. It's just unbelievable. And I says to him, he says to me, I'm going to retire at 35. I said, you're not retiring at 35. You can play to your 40 easily. Ryan Giggs has played to his 41. He said, no, I'm doing that, and I'm working on making sure I'm 3 kilograms down on my best weight the last 5 years. Brilliant. Amazing.
Would they have been able, that's the question that I always ask myself, would they have been able to do this and keep this up, the relentlessness that they've shown without each other? If they was out on their own, no one else around, would they continue to have done this? That's the question I ask.
They probably do add to the motivation.
Yeah, 100%. I think all the great sportsmen in the world have always had that someone else to feed off. And I think this is another great rivalry in football. They don't talk about it. Seems like there's a bit of a respect between them. They don't ever mention each other really, but they're just phenomenal to watch. And people try and make comparisons of who's better, etc. Just enjoy them, man.
Talked a lot with Boy Keane about Ronaldo. You weren't always convinced. He played in front of you for a couple of seasons as a teenager. You weren't that convinced to start with.
No, I think there are 3 phases to his career. So the first couple of years at United, where he scored 6 goals in his first year, 9 goals, you were tolerating him in a way, because I'd been used to having a person playing in front as a right back, and David Beckham with a great relationship. I knew where he was going to be, tucked him when the ball was on the other side, he'd make sure he'd double up. Cristiano Ronaldo did none of those things. He never complied with the defensive structure of the team, so actually you were tolerating him from a defensive point of view, and then in an attacking point of view he was erratic. And all of a sudden, after a couple of years, the numbers came. So all of a sudden when he switches over to the left wing or goes to centre forward or doesn't track back, the numbers 30 goals, 20 assists, 40 goals, 25 assists, and you can tolerate anything. So he went from being somebody who was frustrating to someone who's absolutely exceptional, and then continued. So the type of goals that Mbappe scored today was the middle part of his career. We're now entering into the latter part of his career, which is a different phase, where he's actually now the best centre forward in the world, without a shadow of a doubt, and his box work is absolutely brilliant. And like I say, he's transformed himself from being a player who's young, erratic, to someone who's absolutely brilliant.
The game is a lot quicker, I have to say now, so these things probably level themselves out. Great players in different areas will be great players anyway, but as you say, the numbers make a difference. People can overlook stats. You can't, they smack you in the face. The stats are incredible. To say that he scored more goals than appearances at Real Madrid, 650. I mean, that's abnormal.
I mean, I don't want to butt you up too much, you two guys, but you 2 world-class players, and you sit there and we watch players and you're thinking, you're in awe of them in many ways, and they're at a different level to world-class.
Yeah, you can't look at that. Like, they're up there somewhere. And all the other players in the world, don't care what their egos are saying and what they think of themselves, they're looking up there going, I wish, and I can't get to that level. They ain't going to get to that level. It's like Frank said, it's abnormal. But what I would say about what it gives a team when you've got a player like that in your team, the confidence that spreads throughout the team, that we do our jobs right, we just get it right ourselves, keep the back door shut, no goals against. He will score us a goal. He'll get us a chance minimum.
Cristiano Ronaldo. Ooh, how long have we got? How long have we got, Jose?
That's, that's easy. Everybody says, and I say the same, he's not 25 anymore, he's 35. Okay. He doesn't score 50 goals, but how many did he score? 35.
Amazing.
So, the record is incredible, the numbers, they speak by itself.
What drives him on? What drives him on? Fitness.
I think records. Yeah. He's a legend. He's one of these big names that stays forever in football history. But the guy he motivates himself with numbers, with new things. He wants to win the gold ball X times and the golden boot X times, and he wants to beat Talidei record in Iran of 100 and X goals in a national team. Yeah. He wants to not just to play these Euros. He's already thinking that he wants to play the next World Cup.
Does he get angry when people say maybe Messi's better? Would that infuriate him?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I just think that critics motivates him. I think he feels if people criticize me is because I am who I am.
Jealous.
And I did what I did and I still try to do, and he gets that as an extra motivation. I think as an opponent you should be quiet and don't say a wrong word about him, because that would be always a motivation for him. I think he's the player that everybody knows he is, and mentally really very, very strong.
And the way he scored some goals with his head as well. That people don't realise how
All-round
good
player.
in the air.
All-round.
Yeah.
Some great goals in the air.
He should leave Italy now and leave me in peace.